We are just over a week away from kickoff to the 2017 college football season. I know the excitement is rising, and of course Alabama getting ready to kick off against Florida State, finally getting to talk about it a little bit more as they prepare for that week one matchup. Michael Casagrande joining me now. He's been in Tuscaloosa all week, all summer for fall camp, just to kind of get a gauge on what the players are talking about. Michael, what is their expectation for this season opener against Florida State?
Yeah, no, the long wait is starting to get a little closer. We're less than 2 weeks away. Alabama hasn't begun the official preparation yet. They haven't brought out the scout team jerseys. That came the Friday before game week last year with USC. Just Nick Saban, he doesn't like to over-prepare for things. Wants to keep as normal as possible, to keep the routine as normal. But a few players have talked a little bit about it, asked a few guys about what they've seen from Florida State on their own film study, and Rashaan Evans, linebacker, was saying he sees a little bit of Clemson in the way the Florida State plays its offense. A team they saw, obviously both teams saw last year, so didn't go as well for Alabama in the end, but they have a little bit of an idea of kind of what they're going up against. Ross Pierce-Baker, offensive lineman, says he sees some of the way Alabama plays on the defensive line, the guys they're going to be going up against. So, it should be a 1 versus 3 matchup, as good as it gets, and it should be a pretty well-matched game too.
Yeah, when you look at 1 versus 3, these are the kind of matchups that Coach Saban lives for. He loves to have these matchups where it really hypes up his team, motivates them to start the season. What is your overall sense from the players in talking to them? Are they really motivated about this matchup, or are you getting still a lot of that kind of coach speak from them?
There's still some of that coach speak. There's still some of the we're still finishing camp kind of stuff, but it's hard to ignore a game like this, a game that's been talked about as much as it is the ticket prices we've written about. It's more expensive than even championship games this team has played before. So there's so much hype around it. There's so much talk about it. But they're trying to keep it as normal as possible and not treat it, I guess, any differently. But there's definitely a tactic in having a game like this when they used to play, lower level teams to start the season. There wasn't the same buzz, but it's all meant to keep them as sharp as possible, and there won't be any kind of overlooking this game in any way.
And we've seen Coach Saban be a little bit more reserved in giving his full assessment of the team. We've seen some of his comments throughout the week, some that have given us a little bit of laughter, if you will. But what is your overall thought in Nick Saban's assessment of the team? Are there any concerns right now?
There are things that you can see that we can see. You notice that, one of the things that we've talked quite a bit about this preseason is the kicking game and the lack of a surefire guy that seems to come in there and be the real confidence, the kind of guy that gives you a ton of confidence, just because we haven't seen these guys do much at all. J.K. Scott has been there, but mostly punted. They're guys that have had a little bit of opportunity, but not a lot. So I think that's kind of the thing that can determine a close game like this could be. So if there was a concern, that might be what I would list.
All right, thank you so much for your insight, Michael. And of course, for all your Alabama Crimson Tide updates as we count down to kickoff, you can visit us on AL.com.